Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, this is Gloria Loring on Stardish Radio.
Hi, this is Marsha Mason, and I'm on Stardish Radio.
Good Monday morning, all. Welcome to Stardish Radio. I am Brandon from Brandon's Buzz, filling in for Joanne once again. She had a prior engagement, so she asked me to step in here. It's Monday morning. It's 8 a.m. here in Texas, 9 a.m. on the East Coast, 6 a.m. on the West Coast. If you're listening live, thank you very much for joining us here at Stardish. Let me just check here and make sure that this is not my guest. Laura, is this you?
It's me.
Hello. Miss Laura Ennis. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well. Let me introduce you. My guest this morning first rose to prominence, at least in the world of television, years before an MD by the name of House became a household name as brilliant but abrasive Dr. Carrie Weaver on the legendary NBC smash ER, and she's back on that same network making waves anew as mysterious Sophia McGuire on the new fall smash The Event. She's a terrific actress with multiple Emmy nominations to back that up, and what a thrill it is to welcome to Stardish this morning the luminous Laura Ennis.
Well, thank you so much. My gosh.
How are you doing, my dear?
You know, I'm just waking up, but I'm happy to be here. It's 6 a.m. where I am, so.
Oh, it's 8 a.m. here in Texas, so it's not much later.
Yes.
You know, they say that lightning rarely strikes twice, but here you are. ER was quite a thrill ride in and of itself, and now you're back on this new thing, The Event, which is a brain bender, to say the very least. Tell me what went through your mind as you first read this script. Or, I mean, was this an immediate yes for you, or did you need to sleep on this a bit?
Yeah, you know, I had read a lot of pilots, and I also direct. So in recent years, I've been directing a lot, and that's been great. But I've started to miss the acting more and more. So my manager sent me the script, and I read it, and I loved it. And they had actually talked to me originally about a different part that I wasn't that interested in. But I said, you know, I love the script. I think it's incredibly tightly written, and it was great payoff at the end. So good luck with it. And then they came back and said, what if we turn this character, that my character, Sophia, was originally conceived of as a man. So they said, what if we turn this into a woman? And I said, oh, well, that would be cool because
Wow.
she is sort of this mystery hub of the story, and she's great fun to play. And I loved it right from the beginning.
You know, for people who haven't seen the show and might be interested in jumping aboard, tell me who you play and how you fit into the story being told here.
Yes, the show is basically we describe it as 99% political conspiracy theory and then 1% mystery, and I am part of that 1% of mystery. But Sophia McGuire is a woman who is being held in a prison in Alaska with a group of mysterious detainees, and you don't know why she's being held, but you know that the government perceives she and her people to be a huge threat to national security. So it's all a very intricate web of intrigue and fun and surprises, and it's been a ball to work on. You know,
in the years since Lost hit the air and became a total sensation across the world, we've seen a number of these very stylized, very serialized mystery shows come and go on primetime television, and most of them have kind of started with a bang and then kind of faded into oblivion with a whimper. Are you satisfied that the writers know where they're headed with the series and that they have a definite destination in mind?
Yeah, you know, that's a great question because, of course, anybody who's attracted to this genre is, you know, asking that same question. Everybody has this experience of watching certain programs and feeling a little heartbroken that they kind of jumped on board and then were disappointed. I think we've benefited from being after a lot of different shows of this same genre, and our writer-producing team is a very deep team. We have Evan Katz, who came from 24, and we have a writer named Jim Wong, who was on The X-Files, and we have Steve Stark, who was on Medium, and we have a lot of people, and Jeffrey Rayner was Friday Night Lights, so we've benefited from people who really know how to sustain a show on series television, which is a very, very hard thing to do. and we're up to episode 8, and the stories have been incredibly surprising and really well constructed. And I got to say, the one that I read last night, I got to the end and was just like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing it again. So far so good. And I know when I talked to them about doing the show, I talked to Nick Waters, who wrote the pilot, and Steve Stark, and they had such a detailed, long-term plan. I mean, Nick is just this charming young guy who's like this super fanboy, geeky, adorable kid who had all these notes. Oh no, in year 4 when she goes here, it's like, oh my God. So I we have our fingers crossed, and so far so good is all I can tell you. And they really, really know this is the great concern of the audience, and they don't want to let the audience down. And everybody wants to work a long time and make a great show.
Sure. So do you know what the event is? And when I ask you that, what I really want to know is, as an actress on a show like this, do you like having every single piece of the puzzle piece in place, or do you enjoy finding out information the way everyone else does?
It's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, another thing that happened when I was cast on the show is I went in and had a couple of meetings with them, and I didn't really know the whole backstory of the character in the show, and so I remember sitting in this couch in this meeting just going, what? And then what happens? Are you kidding? No. So, my jaw was hitting the floor when they were describing everything to me. And so I love having this kind of well of information that I work from that makes me understand what the stakes are for her in a specific way. And that being said, on series television, no matter whether it's ER or the event or anything else, things always change depending on how the audience responds and what, organically happens on the show. But, I do know kind of the core goal for her, and I also it's just fun. It's fun to be the smarty pants and have a secret and not tell anyone. That's fun.
You're an actor who has found much of her fame on series television, and with this inescapable glut of so-called reality programming that seems to be here to stay in terms of their places on primetime schedules. Tell me how it feels to see networks still taking chances on sophisticated, challenging, smart material like this. I mean, it must make you feel great as an actress and as a storyteller.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, that's a great question, and I'm so happy to be able to talk about it. When I did ER, there's certainly kind of the heyday of television to a certain degree, and I think the audience always goes to good story, and certainly the regular networks and the cable networks, that's just been proven time and time again. And so I think it's good business to make good television and tell smart stories, and network television is sort of circling back to what they do very, very well. And, there's a place for reality TV, but, I love my Top Chef. But for the most part, I think it's great to, sort of take the high road.
You mentioned directing, and one of my absolute favorite series of the past few years was a terrific show called Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. And in reading up on you, I discovered that you directed one of my favorite episodes of that show. And I know we don't have a lot of time, but I'd love to hear whatever you can recall about that experience.
You know what? I love working on that show. I worked with the producing director, Tommy Schlamme, who came from West Wing, which I also directed a bunch of those. And it was just an amazing cast, Matthew and Sarah Paulson and Brad Whitford, and we just had a ball. I was very sad to see that show go down. And it was, it was like the usual marathon, shooting at 2 a.m. But I loved the show. And it was really just a fantastic integration of that sort of show behind the show genre,
Well, I tell you what, I want to tell everybody that the event airs Monday nights, 9 Eastern on NBC, and I wish you the best of luck with this. It's a terrific show, and keep up the fantastic work, because you guys are doing a great job.
Oh, I really appreciate it, and people will not be disappointed, so thank you so much for the support.
Thank you very much, Ms. Laureanis.
All right, take care now.
You too. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
The fantastic Laura Ennis, everybody, on Stardish Radio. Stardish Radio in the can already from Monday morning.